Cabriolet. It's a lovely one, actually. Unusual in that you notice the metal on the sides. Most of the cars that had open tops, the whole issue went back, but the sides retained. It's just the canvas roof that was put back in those. About 1936, it's very rare. And then we've got a Rolls Royce that has come over from the USA after spending 50 years there. And that was looking in good nick, but Mr. Doble said he's still got a lot to do on it, so that will keep him out of mischief for a day or two. Nice to see you, Bill. Yes, Bill Coombs gone regressed from Austin 7 to an MG, but then he likes to get around fast. Oh, it's nice to have a wave, even if it wasn't for me. This lovely Morgan, look, isn't that lovely? See all the old workings outside, yes. And they got a fair turn of speed as well. I think they're chain driven actually on the rear wheel, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it still goes well. Nice throaty roar.
Well, just as our cars are leaving there, just to remind you again then, the last train that connects to all stations of Minehead will leave Lord Fitzwarren, and the connection to that is the 1605 from here. So if you're going back to any stations to Minehead on the West Somerset Railway, then you need to be on this 1605 train.
Well, we continue our exit parade. Again, a big thank you to all the drivers who've come along to put their cars on display, and also who've come on parade as well. We've had a good selection of the cars. Not all of them were able to come on parade, but that said, we've seen quite a variety. And here's the lad who's going to keep it. I might have missed this one, I think, number 180. It's in front of the commentary box now. It's a 1953 Sunbeam Alpine. Mr. Melierish of Winscombe owns it, member of the Oval Car Club, and the car was in the film That's the Stranger, about the lady called Ruth Ellis, who was the last woman to be hanged in Britain. So, bit of a doubtful reputation there, but having said that, the Sunbeam Alpine is a very impressive job. Another one with plenty of power, I would have thought. And then as you look, we go back in time with number 171, which is the Morris 10 of 1933, Mr. Hawkins of Harding Mandeville. And he's had this car since 1999. And if you look at the front, the old trafficators there, just under the rear facing mirror. Marvellous what was the latest at the time, isn't it? Number 186. This is a beautifully restored Morris Minor, Mr. Parker from Weymouth. We haven't got any details, but those people quite a lot of people will have owned the Morris Minor, either the saloon version or the traveller version. They're very, very popular cars in their time. And they were probably slightly better mechanically than the equivalent Austin A30 or A35. .220, that lovely Austin Metropolitan, Mr. Cox of Washford. They were built originally for the export market only, but in due course they did get sold in the UK. They were a little bit different, but very popular in their time. Although I think the sales of them were quite limited. For 199, as we said earlier, it was supplied without an engine, so they did find one in due course. There was not much use having a car without an engine unless you got a couple of pedals under the dashboard. But whatever you wanted to do to avoid car tax, or to avoid tax. Well, where you see number 225, the Austin Litchfield, Mr. Sanford from Bishop Lee owns it now. It was owned in Milverton, then it moved to Moorland, and in February this year it was found in a stable, having been flooded right up to the rim. It must have been quite a challenge to get it back into decent condition, but that's been achieved, so well done. Again, a thank you to our car owners, and a thank you to the rally staff who've been watching over the parade ring, and in particular, wherever he is, to Terry Small, our ring marshal, who's so busy chatting to his fan club down there. But many thanks to Terry, because he's kept everything up together. The rally relies on a pretty good ring marshal so that we can run pretty well the time, if not a bit early as we have today. So that will give you more time to go around and yet, okay? And thank you for listening. We've done our best to give a bit of an insight, but you can always get more from the owners. Where I missed my car expert today, Chris, who's normally with us here in the commentary box, is not feeling very well at present. He couldn't be with us, much as he would like to, but he gives us all the insight again on cars. But between us, we've done our best there. I've got to thank Colin standing beside me for turning the pages, or it would have been impossible. So, what with his good looks and what's left of my brain, we did manage.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that actually concludes our main ring here. First of all, I think I'd just like to personally thank Brian Crouch. I mean, he says he doesn't know anything. Well, if you can commentate on tractors and cars like he did, with his fantastic knowledge, it's unbelievable. Honestly, Brian, I think it's been an absolute pleasure working alongside you. It really has, it really has. I learned an awful lot, but whether we'll ever stay in, I don't know. But just to tell you, we move on. Children, where are you? Where are all the children? Why aren't you in the ring now, waiting to have a go on a fire?